So pretty, should keep going. We gotta wait for Jackson. He's starting the service. Yada bim.
Okay, here.
Yada bim. Oh, okay. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bum. Your turn. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bum again. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim.
Ba-da-bum.
Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bum. You guys start.
Ba-da-bim.
Yada bum.
Ba-da-bim.
Yada bum. Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. Yada bum.
Ba-da-bim.
Yada bum. Yada bim bum bim bum bim bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bim bum bum. I chitty 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 bum. You guys good at that. That's great. Seth, would you come up and read page 6 and welcome us and gather our energy to the day?
Page 6, right?
Page 6 at the page 6, yeah, at the top.
Page 6.
Page 6.
We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
Thank you. So actually, traditionally, Kiddush is not said in the synagogue liturgy until after the Amidah, so we are in good company holding off Kiddush and until Jackson can come and lead us. We haven't heard from them, have we? Okay. So let's welcome our better angels with Shalom Aleichem on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, so for many of us, it's been a long, challenging week. I don't know, maybe like Ben, you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning with newborn twins. We're struggling with something at work or any number of things, but as we enter Shabbat, the invitation is to hang all those things up on a hook and turn our backs on them, knowing that we'll be back. Can you give us a little introduction to Ana B'Choach? Thank you. So the invitation as we hang those cares on that hook and enter the expansiveness of what Shabbat can be, especially this Shabbat when we're celebrating the next generation, celebrating family, celebrating community. Scan any place in your body where you may be holding any tension. Breathe into it. Exhale it out. Find yourself here, right here in this sanctuary, ready to enter the spaciousness of this day, ready to be present, knowing that nothing else matters but right here, right now, who we're with. Ana V'Choach, Gdulat Yamincha, Tatir Yitzura. God, with all your strength, untie our knots. Let us be a free, flowing, clear vessel. Serura. Page 16. Zamru l'Adonai bechino, bechino v'kol zimra, bechatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Aria lifnei hamelech Adonai, yiram hayam umlo. Tevel veyoshveva Neharot Yimcha Uchav Yachad Harim Yeranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Yishpot tevel betzedek be'amim be'meisharim yiram hayam umlo tevel ve'yoshveva neharot yimcha Harim Yeranenu. So I'm going to invite you to put your finger in page 44, but turn to page 13. This is our joy mashup, our Yismachu mashup, starting at the bottom paragraph on 13. Yismechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Again, Yismechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismechu hashamayim,
Hashamayim,
Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. 44. Yismechu v'malahutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malahutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat Kulam Yisbehu V'yitangu metuvecha Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Ve'ashpihi ratzita bo v'kiddushto Shabbat Chemdat yamim otokarata Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Zecher L'masei v'reishit Shabbat Zecher L'masei v'reishit Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malachutecha Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei Oneg Shabbat. And this Shabbat, 10:30 tomorrow morning, Jackson Stein will be called to the Torah for the first time as a bar mitzvah. And in honor of that auspicious occasion, I'd like to invite Jackson and his parents to the bima with their siddurim to light the candles and offer us kiddush. So Nicole, if you could read on page 3. And you'll turn to page 5. And yeah, read that.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Go ahead and light the candles. Blessing is on page 2. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Kiddush is on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrai kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim.
Kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, Mazel Tov, Yasher Koach. We're going to continue our service with L'cha Dodi, welcoming the day with joy and beauty. You can sit down, page 20. We're going to do stanzas 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'diborecha nishmiyanu el hamiuchad Adonai echad Ushemo echad, Shemo tiferet, ve'elet gila, lecha dodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi lekrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha merosh mekerem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshavati la lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Fifth stanza.
Yitoreri, yitoreri, kiva orech, gumi ori, uri, uri, shidaberi, kol Adonai, alayech nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei.
Please rise if you're able. Face the door. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam v'simcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please remain standing if you're able for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed. Please be seated and find a handout. Should be at the edge of the aisles. Evening the evenings. Sacred words, even the evenings. Wisdom opens gates locked around our hearts. Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechochma poteach she'arim. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv aravim, amen. Understanding alters with the times, changing seasons, cycles divine. Uvit vuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv aravim, amen. Paint diamonds on the canvas called sky. Soothe our souls with a lilting lullaby. Umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmorotehem b'rakia kirtzono. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv aravim, amen. Rolling, rolling into the night, rolling, rolling away the light. Golel or mipnei hoshech, vehoshech mipnei or. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv aravim, amen. Spirit of the night, we bless your name. Eternal light, eternal flame. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Evening, the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Ma'ariv, Ma'ariv aravim, amen. Ma'ariv aravim, amen. On the other side of the sheet, we are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We're embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we're too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we're too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We're supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we're too weak for meeting. We are loved, 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 loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, 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 loved by an unending love, an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love, an unending love. Baruch atah Adonai, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kvod Nochto Le'olam Va'ed. 36. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Please let's read together in the English on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you're rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They're reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. And all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us, that you alone are our God, and we are your people, Israel. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously to this song, to this sentiment, as we do now on page 40. Mi chamocha, who is like you? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, tehilot oseh peleh, oseh peleh.
Malachut Echara uvanecha, Ke'ayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Ze Elianu ve'amaru, Ze Elianu ve'amaru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פרנאי את יעקב ויעלום יהיה חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Shemo.
גב ישראל.
Amen. Page 43. In B flat.
Let there be love,
Let there be love,
understanding among us.
understanding.
Let peace and friendship
be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu
and
Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu
be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Invite us all to rise for the Amidah. Start by just asking that we open to the experience. Page 46. Open my eyes to truth. Open my hands to give freely. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. 48. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Ne'eman Atah L'chayot Metim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMetim. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim b'chol yom Yahalelucha Selah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. I invite you to finish your Amidah prayer privately, either the text of your heart or the text between pages 54 and 60, and be seated when you've finished. מודים אנחנו לך שאתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. סור חיים וקדשנו שלום רב על ישראל ומתשים לעולם כי אתה ומלך אותנו כל השלום אתה מלך. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we give thanks. Page 253. Page 253.
May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen.
Today we're praying for the healing of Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gloria Berkowitz, Gittel Bat Chana, Bernice Portney, Beryl Ben Sima Veshmuel Leib, Steve Gellis, Shalom Avram Ben Golda Yeshayahu, Michael Rosenblum, Harav Miriam Yael Chaya Bat Sarah Yitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit Michael, Dr. Isoka Nosamwota, Alan Mentha, Alon Ben Yael Perel, Eric Rivchin, Rhoda Alaribe, Luke Wright, Kreindel Chaya Rafaela Bat Yehudit Sharon, Dolores McKell, Harav Eliyahu Ben Miriam Va'avraham. And to these names we add
Cookie, Sam. Misheberach imotenu Kor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen.
May they know wholeness and healing of body, mind, spirit, psyche, and bless all who care for them as well. Shabbat Shalom. Well, this is an exciting weekend. Jackson, what's the name of the parsha this week? Yeah. So that's Noach, and in English speak, that's Noah. And we've heard that story before, right? God comes to Noah, says, build an ark, make it big, bring 2 of every animal onto the ark. There's going to be a flood, and it rains, and it rains. It's even worse than Hurricane Ida. And everything on land drowns. More on that tomorrow morning. It's a story we've all heard in many different variations over the years, starting from the cute children's version to the somewhat traumatic, more adult version that when we really think about it. If you read the text closely, you'll read how Noach, is described. He is called wholehearted in his generation, a tzaddik tamim, a righteous, blameless man. Noah walked with God, the text says. But the Hebrew linguistic construction flashes like red lights in a way that's really easy to be missed when you read it in the English translation. I'm going to give you a sense of this. It reads, he was a righteous, blameless man, haya b'dorotav. Haya b'dorotav, what's that? It's usually translated as in his generation, but it could be very easily and more colloquially translated as he was a righteous and blameless man, at least he was in his generation. Noah walked with God. He was a righteous and blameless man, at least he was in this generation. It's curious, no? Haya is he was, right? And that's there. He was in his generation. But the language is curious in two ways. I'm asking you, right? How is it curious to you? What do you notice in that turn of phrase? Generations. What's up with that? Right? Why is it in the plural? Absolutely. Anything else that's curious? It was, right? Right? In this, at least he was in his generation. It's a little bit of a backhanded compliment, don't you think? Right? He's wise and he's upright and he's blameless. At least he was in his generation. So knew how exactly blameless and righteous was he, right? So Rashi, the famous 10th century commentator, offers what he thinks is the obvious way to understand this phrase, that compared to the corruption and the broken societal norms of his time, he was a relatively upstanding guy, right? Maybe that it should be that a person should be judged not relative to some notion of absolute or perfection, but in relation to the world that he or she lives. I think that's what Rashi is maybe suggesting. But the Kabbalist, Noam Elimelech, offers a different way to understand this phrase. At least he was in his generations. He teaches that both when things are good and even when things are not so good, by virtue of doing goodness, by virtue of performing sacred acts, a righteous person, in this commentator's language, called a tzaddik, is through these holy acts actually drawing the divine presence, making God more present in the world. So actually invoking God's presence through doing goodness. And by manifesting God's presence, he writes, it benefits everyone around him and reverberates throughout the entire generation. This is how he reads this. Sort of like a pebble dropped in still water. Waves continue to ripple out. And, he writes, as the tzaddik continues to do this, he ascends the rungs of spiritual development and awareness. And through this ascent, he or she gains an even greater ability to connect and draw the holiness into all aspects of the universe. And this is what is meant, he writes, by the verse, Noach was a righteous man, wholehearted in his generations. That the wholehearted nature of his righteousness benefited all of the generations throughout which he lived. I don't know, somewhere in the Torah it says he lived like 900 and something years. I can't keep track of these guys in Genesis. But the Noam Elimelech, he goes on further even to say that the reverberations of his actions, the reverberations of the actions of a tzaddik, impacted in the supernal worlds as well. Meaning not only in the universe that we can see, but in the higher realms. And that is what he says it means when the text says, Noah walked with God. So this idea that our actions not only affect the earthly realm in which we live, but also affects the heavenly is a little bit esoteric, I'm going to admit, but it is also a very common motif in Jewish writings. And we might think about the divine realm reigning, impacting us here on earth and in the physical world, but in the Jewish tradition, we understand that our actions impact the greater realms as well. So it extends the metaphor of the power of goodness from affecting those around us to impacting an entire generation to that which incorporates and even transcends time and space. And it's instructive that Noah was able to act righteously amidst the corruption in which he lived, perhaps not perfectly, but righteously. And that he wasn't able to save the world. Clearly, he was not able to save the world. The flood still came. The great do-over happened. But it didn't get in his way of living as righteously as he was able to do. And I think that's something to think about in our chaotic times. To quote Rabbi Tarfon in Pirkei Avot, he says, "The day is short, the work is plentiful. The laborers are indolent, the reward is great, and the master of the house is insistent." Now that's a striking statement in and of itself, but even more so as the introduction to another famous teaching that comes immediately thereafter in Pirkei Avot that says, "It is not your duty to finish the work, but neither are you at liberty to neglect it." So Noah could have been completely despondent at his inability to impact the flood, the rain, the deluge. But still, in his generation, he drew that presence. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow when Jackson offers his teaching and a completely unique perspective that I know we will all very much appreciate. So until then, Shabbat Shalom. So I'm going to invite us to turn to page 282 and rise for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Please be seated. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when suspicion shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in friendship and one in spirit, forever united in your service. And then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Our thoughts now turn to those who gave us life, held our hands, taught us, walked with us while they walked this earth, but no longer do. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294, and if I call the name of your loved one, On this yard site, I invite you to stand in your place. This week we are observing the yard site of Davis Bauer, Joan Gordon, Murray S. Haar, Harold Max, Louis Pliskin, Lester A. Rice. Is there anyone else here who is either observing a yard site or who is in their year of mourning? I invite you to rise and share their names. How many years, Seth? May you rest in peace. Page 294, Mourner's Kaddish. Rise if it's your custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach erotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach leolam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
May their memories always be for blessing. Tom? Holy announcements? Just a one-pager today. And only one page. Holidays are over. It's, you know.
Thank you, Rabbi, for beginning this week's teachings of Noach. Thank you, Ben, for the music and the accompaniment tonight, singing. Thank you to Jackson's family for supplying these beautiful flowers. Hope you can see them behind this this table here. I'm going to move it.
They're
I
really
want to make
beautiful.
sure everyone who's on YouTube can see the flowers.
Oh, we need to wave everybody hi in YouTube land.
Hello out there.
Hi,
We have
Mom.
decided to drop all mask and vaccine requirements for attendance at our services at Temple Beth-El. We will no longer be collecting vaccine documentation or requiring vaccines or masks. But we have established a mask required section of the sanctuary in the back on the right there for people who feel most comfortable sitting near other masked people. Thank you, Ro and Jesse, who aren't here tonight. But thank you anyway. You're probably on the live stream, and you have joined the live stream crew, and anyone else is welcome to participate in the mitzvah of bringing Temple Beth-El to those at home by manning our live stream equipment. Talk to Seth Lubin.
Thank you, Seth.
There. Thank you, Seth, for details. Please see the newsletter for other volunteer and mitzvah opportunities to strengthen our community and get involved, or just ask the rabbi or myself after services. Don't forget to come tomorrow morning to Shabbat services at 10:30 a.m. when Jackson Stein will become a bar mitzvah. Religious school will meet this Sunday, as usual, at 9:30 a.m. Rabbi Moritz's Introduction to Judaism class, a 20-week class, begins next Wednesday, November 2nd at 7:30 p.m. Registration will be closing soon, so be in touch with the rabbi if you're interested. Our next community Shabbat dinner will be Friday night, November 11th at 6 p.m. We had nearly 30 people last month. It was fantastic. The cost is $18 for adults and $10 for children from 3 to 10. Reservations are required by the Tuesday before the dinner, which is November 8th. You can register via the temple website.
It's a little bit later than last time. I think it's at 7, but the time's on the website.
Oh,
Yeah,
7?
It's 7.
Oh, it's 7, okay. Okay.
but if I get a lot of people that say, hey, we like it earlier, we can make them earlier, but, so, feedback, welcome. Yeah, no, there was
Right.
an inconsistency there.
Yeah. Thank you, Seth. Our next Tot Shabbat will be Saturday, November 12th at 10:30 a.m. for singing, dancing, story time, and other age-appropriate activities. And our next wine and cheese pre-neg will be Friday, November 18th at 7:15 p.m. Now, here's an interesting one. Yes, I bet you didn't know about this. She knows about everything. Have you always wanted to celebrate or renew your own B'nai Mitzvah? Go deeper into study as an adult? Learn along with your children? How about that? An adult B'nai Mitzvah class is forming. If you're interested, please reach out to Rabbi Morit for details.
There are at least 2, maybe 3 people in this room that's going to be part of it, so sign on up.
Yeah. We're running out of space. Don't wait. Change the world one meal at a time with 1 hour of your week. Help feed our hungry and homeless neighbors at the Temple Beth-El Food Pantry. The food pantry is now on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. If you don't have an hour, then you can make a donation for the food that we buy. The details are on the website, or you can just come on a Thursday. You'll be glad you did. One last thing that's dear to my heart, Teruma pledges for the year 2022-23 were due July 1st. That's past tense. So if you haven't made your pledge yet, please get down to business.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Reb.
Ein kemach, ein Torah. No bread, no Torah. No Torah, no bread. Yeah, page 322. Ein Keloheinu. We close our service tonight. Yum bum 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 ba da 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 da. Yum dun dun da ya da 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 da. Yum ba da dum ba dum da ya da dum da ya da dum bum 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 ba. Ein Keloheinu, ein Gadolenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ya da da ya da da ya da da na 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 na. Na 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 na. Ein Kemoshienu, mi Elohenu, mi Adonenu, mi Kemalkeinu. Ya na na ya na na ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Mi Kemoshienu, no del Elohenu, no del Adonenu, no del Malkeinu. Ya na na ya na na ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. No del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu. Ya na na ya na na ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu. Ya na na ya na na ya na 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 na. Ya na 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 na. Tahu Moshienu. Yam pam 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 pa da 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 da. Yam tan tan da ya da 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 da. Yam pa da 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 dan da ya da dan da ya da da na 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 na. 10:30 tomorrow morning. Be here. Except if your last name is Stein and you have to be here by 10:15. Oh, this is the good stuff. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. This is the good stuff, I can tell. This is the stuff that came in this week, not the frozen stuff. No? Okay. Please stay for Oneg. Glenn, you want to take that back?